Hey, Will here. Welcome back to Vibe Coding, a first-person shooter. This is part 3, and let me show you where we are up to by sharing my screen. This is where we are up to. Last time we put in the gun model, which needs a little bit of work today, which I'll get into. But yeah, we got a little bit of gun sway as we walk. We got a nice skybox. We got some beautiful lighting and some placeholder. Well, they're meant to be buildings, but yeah, we'll get those interchanged at some point soon. And yeah, this is where we're up to. This is totally vibe code. I've not written a single line of code. Claude Code has, and love it or hate it, I think it's done a good job so far. This is a bit of an experiment. I work within AI, and day to day I write software a lot. I don't tend to vibe code to this degree, so I want to see how far I can push the AI with creating a first-person shooter game. So far, so good, but we'll see how complicated we can get it before, it starts to mess things up. So let's jump into VS Code and I'll talk you through what we're going to do today, because I only have about 30-40 minutes to record, so we'll see what progress we can make. So I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this on the screen, but I've got the OBJ model opened up in my Mac Finder here. And you can see that we are quite far forward on the gun, at least the camera view for the FPSs. I'm trying to match it up, and as you can see, it's cutting out, a huge amount of it. So what I need to do today is move the gun forward into our point of view so we can see a little bit more of the gun, the sight, etc. It'll be nice to see a little bit more of the magazine, I think. And yeah, that's job number 1. The second job, which I don't know if we'll be able to tackle today per se, is the fact that there's no hand on the gun. So it looks a little, it looks a little bit weird, just running around with a rifle held in front of you. So I might see if we can get ourselves a player character and a hand on here, but that one might be a more than a 40-minute job. And the last thing at the moment is you can't jump and you can't fire the weapon. So I might try and build into the weapon system firing today, and again, see how far we can get with that. But the first thing to fix is the model, so I will jump straight into that. Oh, by the way, at this point, the project is filling out a little bit, so this is a good time to run init in Claude Code. This creates a claude.md file, basically a roadmap to the code base that Claude is running within. It's a really good way to map out the code base, and it makes Claude a little bit better at answering questions. So I'm going to run /init and create that claude.md file. The one thing you must remember to do is always keep that updated, because as the code base changes and evolves, that claude.md file will become obsolete and therefore less helpful. So let's run it, let's get the claude.md file, and then we'll crack into the first job. So 2 other tasks I might try and tackle in this video actually with the weapon system is adding a crosshair to the center of the screen. At the moment you can't see where you are aiming. I mean, it's rough, but you can't really see. A crosshair would be nice. And second of all, it'd be nice to be able to press the shift button and for it to aim through sights. That would be quite good, to zoom the camera in slightly, aim through the sights of the weapon, and that would be a good addition as well. So I'm adding those to the list. Cool, and in the interim, the claude.md file has created. You can see what it's done here. It outlines what's happening within this project, giving an overview, some of the development commands that we need to run, what they do specifically, some of the architecture. It's very helpful, and this gets loaded into every conversation that you have with Claude. So at any given time, it has more context about where it's working instead of having to waste tokens searching the entire codebase. So this looks quite good. I'm just going to go yes, because normally I'd read it in more depth, but I'm vibe coding, so I'm just agreeing to it, and we're going to run with it. And there is our claude.md file in the project finder here. Let's just go and commit. I'm not even committing. Commit and push this, please. I'm not doing any of that. Claude is going to do the lot. I'm just going to be prompting. It'll co-author itself. This time it deserves the credit. Normally I don't like it. And git push. Lovely. And with that being done, let's clear the context and go for our beautiful first prompt, which is going to be to move the weapon forward in the view. And there is the first prompt. Let's hit enter and see what Claude can cook up. And it's going to examine the weapon system. A misconception with Claude is once you work with it in a code base, it will understand that code base and have memory of it. It doesn't. Every time you hit clear, the context is pretty much reset. And that's the point of the claude.md file, is to help retain some of that memory, but it still has to search around. It doesn't remember the last time we worked on this. And it looks like it's done it. Let's hit yes. I'm just going to turn on auto accept at this point. I don't want to look at anything it's got to say. It's done the opposite thing. It's moved the gun backwards in the viewport. We actually want it to move forward. I say you've moved it the wrong way. Off to a great start, this very simple change. You're right. I moved it the wrong way. Yes. This looks much, much, much better. Aside from the gun being like really thin looking on the front, this looks much better. Another thing I'm not doing is clearing my context very much. I'm just going to keep working in the same context, and it'll stack up tokens. I also run CC usage here. As you can see, it already thinks I'm going to be burning, a lot of token. But it will stack up this usage, and I want to see again how far usage of Claude Code can go. It's had a lot of criticism lately. I've had a few people say use Codex, which I do want to give a go too, but I've always quite enjoyed Claude Code. I'm hoping they'll make a comeback. That perspective is a bit weird. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just going to humour it. You say the front of the gun looks a bit funky, almost like the camera's warping it. I don't know. I might be wrong. But does it? Do you see what I mean? It looks like really thin at the front, like it's a pencil. Okay, well, found it. The camera is using a 75-degree field of view. That's quite wide. Okay, that's starting to look better. Okay, it's reduced it further again. Cool, that perspective is a lot better. Now I just need to move the gun forward into the field of view again. This is great. We've got a better field of view. The gun is now fully visible. Onto the next part. I'm going to get it to commit this as well. Cool, that's done. Next, let's add a crosshair to the center of the screen so we can always see where we are aiming, or going to be aiming, when we can actually fire this bad boy. Let's send that. Can we add a crosshair to the center of the screen so we can see where we're going to be aiming? And Claude's going to one-shot this, I can just tell already, because Claude's amazing. So much so, I'm just going to go back and play in my FPS world whilst I wait for the change to get made. Loving this. We'll do something about this in the future. We got crosshairs. Cool. There it is. We have a dot. Okay, I think that's good. Do you think that will suffice? I'm guessing it will. It'll be absolutely fine, I think. There's our dot. Wonderful. So I'd love to add aiming through sights as part of the weapon system. And then I reckon we're in good stead there. In FPS games, the typical key for aiming down sights is right mouse button. What do we want to do? Do we want to do shift? Because I'm on a MacBook Pro here, and right-clicking is going to be quite tricky. I'm going to go for shift. Let's go for shift. Let's go. Let's add aim down sights as another really good addition. And then I think we're going to try and do jumping. Oh, I've just enabled think mode on Claude. Look at it go. Look at all these tokens having a think about things. I suppose it's quite crucial. I don't mind it thinking. I dare go over it. When it's loading new things, it's getting really slow to hot reload. We might have to do something about this in the near future. Still no aim down sights. It's coming. Again, what I might try and do, I just really want to get this weapons system down and dusted. I might add a weapons switcher very soon as well, so we can get a few more guns in here, switch it around and have a go. This is already looking vastly better upon last time. Very happy. I mean, look at all these think tokens. Perfect. I can see the key handling system. Okay, it's adding the key handling now. I was getting ahead of myself. There it is. Look at this. This file is going to end up ridiculously long, I think. At the moment, it's tolerable, 320 lines. This is the main game loop, I'm guessing. I haven't even looked. Okay. As a first version, that's not too bad. I kind of want it to do two things. Obviously, fix the weapon perspective, and secondly, maybe have a slight camera zoom when you look through the sightseeing. Is that sort of what you're doing? So let's get it to fix this. A great start. I always am the encouraging one. Now it's too low. It's like firing from the waist. No, it's too low. I can already see us having some fun, but with this is kind of the time where I may, in normal circumstances, step in and manually change things just to get it right. It's almost there. It's just slightly too high. Getting there. Little bit higher, little bit closer. Okay, after much back and forth, it took a while. We now have it aiming through the sights properly when I hold and let go of the shift. It just took a while to get the positioning right, which is often the way. Claude doesn't really have a context of what it currently looks like at the time, so it's just shifting around values until it gets something that I like. This is perfect, I think. It's dead center. You can see the end of the gun when you're running around. Very nice. I can't tell if we should zoom the camera slightly or not. I don't know. But it's good to me. Right, so we have a crosshair. We have a gun that's positioned properly. We have aim down sights. I think that's baked directly into the weapon system now. That's made me very happy. Let's commit this. I'm just going to add all the files there. It has. Let's git push. So I did just check the recording. We've been recording for 30 minutes. So let me head over to my studio. But first, I'll quickly recap and I'll say what we've done. We have moved the gun forward into the viewport so we can actually see the gun. It looks vastly different to the last version. We also added a crosshairs here, so you can actually see where you're going to be aiming when this thing can actually shoot. And last but not least, my favorite thing that we've added today is the aim down sights functionality to the weapon system, so that we can now aim down the sights of any gun that we add in. And I think this looks really cool. It happens when you hold down shift, and when you let go, it goes back to the normal view. Really, really cool. Let me jump over to the studio to sign off. Thank you very much for watching. I make videos almost every day across the spectrum of AI, tech news. I also do these random videos where I build stuff and share about my life. I spend a lot of time creating things, so I try to record as much as I possibly can. So if you enjoy that kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all those good things, and follow along for the journey.